Okay, Bob. Now I want to show you some pictures. And you were talking about George Burns, and that's your dad.
My dad's on the left, yes, and George is on the right.
Fight, fight, fight. Because I saw
Yeah.
the Cook County thing, and that was an album of his.
Right, that was his album, Pinball Playboy.
Ooh.
Name of the band was Cook County. Well, what it was is a lot of cats that were studio musicians that he got together and like Pat Rizzo and Everett Brightson and all studio cats that he used on this album.
Mhm.
Huge guys that played with Doc Stevenson, played with a lot of cats, And the album was Cook County Pinball Playboy. And that's where Little Girls and Ladies was on the instrumental version with Pat Rizzo.
That's cool. That's very cool. And here you are with Dick Clark.
Right. I worked with Dick with Bananas in Pajamas, and Bananas in Pajamas was that. I think that's what the band was. Because later on, Bananas in Pajamas became Bud and the Bananas. I was Bud.
Anna Bananas. Is that what you
And-
said?
No, Bananas in Pajamas.
Oh, okay. Because I know a guy that's got a show dog called Anna Banana. That's what.
No.
Okay. So then you started to do movies too,
Yep.
right?
The first movie was Above the Law with Steven Seagal. Not exactly the greatest actor I've ever seen. Very, even his martial arts moves are slow, and his acting is slow. But everybody liked his movie.
Yeah, he kind of came out of favor after a while, though. Didn't he try to
Oh,
do
yeah.
law enforcement or something?
Well, yeah, he got to be a cop and did a whole TV show on that.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal, law enforcement.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that what did it was when the girl he was going out with, she was gorgeous. I think he got some kind of trouble with her or something. I don't know. But
Didn't he like do real law enforcement or something, or tried to?
yeah, he down south or something. It was employed by some sheriff's department or something, and they did a show on that.
You know, that silly bounty hunter is going after this kid that killed the girl, here in
Right.
Florida. And he hurt his ankle here in Florida. So he had to quit because they've been doing this story now every day. And the kid is probably in Canada or Mexico somewhere now,
I don't know. I thought they found his body or something. I heard something like that.
They found some
found a body?
belongings. They found some belongings or something. And there was some kind of bones or something there, some kind of
Oh,
remains,
I don't
which
know.
could have been anything,
I try not to follow the news at all.
Well, you can't help it down here because it comes on at odd times. Here's a news flash. They haven't found him yet, No, because he's been gone and he's gone. I mean, and if he isn't, he's not too smart. I'll tell you that right now. He just
Yeah.
isn't.
So that was Above the Law. Then I did Red Heat with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Peter Boyle. I worked with him in that movie. He was a great guy. Young Frankenstein. He always knocked me out with that movie. Jim Belushi was in it too. Another movie I worked with Jim Belushi. But the scene that I was in, they cut it out. It was at Sox Park. Peter Boyle, we're looking for some money or something, was our motivation. And they wound up using just a glimpse of Sox Park, and the whole premise was screwed up. And then let's see, Red Heat, Midnight Run with De Niro. I worked in that.
Did you work with him?
Yeah, well, I got to know him pretty good. Very quiet cat. Really, I had him cracking up because I had this big fat greaseball kid, and I was taking a picture with De Niro, and I said, "What are you crazy? This is Bob De Niro." And De Niro was smirking at one of the pictures. There was so many. But Grodin, Charles Grodin, great actor. I thought he was wonderful in that movie. But
He
a
was
nice guy.
good. He really
He
was
is
good.
very
Yeah.
nice guy. Very, very nice guy. Down to earth. You know, so many cats like they're iffies like Belushi and then like I said, Only the Lonely with Maureen O'Hara, Anthony Quinn, John Candy. John Candy is a gem of I still can't believe he's gone. Great guy, wonderful sweetheart.
What did he die of, really?
I
Do we
would,
know?
yeah, I think it was his heart. I don't know. I mean, for sure,
It's called food.
but he was a little overweight.
Touch. A touch. Unfortunately, it's a shame because he was good and he was at his prime then.
Yeah,
He really was. So who did you work with that were nasty?
Belushi, I said, was Jim Belushi was. He could be terrible on a set, but I don't know. I mean, he's even offset used to get in problems with people, but that's Jim
Well,
Belushi.
it was him and it was his drugs. I mean, come on. I mean, it killed
Yeah.
him. It killed him. It's a shame.
But now I'm talking about Jim, the brother, not John.
Oh, I thought you meant Jim. I'm John.
Oh,
Sorry.
John. My dad used to see John at the mansion in LA. And John had a crush on my half sister, Babaji, who was like maybe 16 years old. And John was, 30 or something. And he had a crush on her. But the mansion it's another story. I tried to get into it, shooting pool with Tony Curtis, seeing all these cats walking around. It was great. Bob Culp was there, Jimmy Kahn. They're all at the mansion. It was all great times.
So did you get lucky?
Well, there was a what they call a bowling room
Oh,
everywhere. Like if you were in the game room, they had a bedroom, and if you don't, no matter what room they had a bowling room, what they call. And then I was going out with Peter Lawford's daughter, Sydney Lawford, and it was hanging around with Chris Lawford, who's no longer with us. I was sad to see him. I was amazed that he was in such good shape. In fact, I broke his ankle.
oh,
Chris Lawford.
I see.
We were playing basketball 1-on-1. So he goes up for a layup and he comes down on my ankle, twists his ankle. And he had to go to Peru for whatever. The president started that whole thing where you had to go to different places and help the individuals,
Did he go because he had to eat guinea pigs?
guinea pigs. What?
They eat guinea pigs in Peru.
I don't know. I don't know what they eat in Peru, but he had. I bet you he remembered me from now on because he had a broken ankle going to Peru.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Claim to fame.
What was President Kennedy's? I don't know.
Sister.
And then I used to go to Peter's
Oh,
house.
you're talking about the Peace Corps.
Peace Corps. And I used to go to Peter Lawford's house. And Peter was a big talk about drugs. That was his downfall. Peter was a great guy, but liked his drugs. And I never forget I'm sitting in President Kennedy's rocking chair there's a pool room. Big picture of the president, and he's got in his pool room like a go-kart. All these kids are on the go-kart. But anyway, I've blasted out of my head. I don't know what it was. But I'm sitting in Kennedy's rocking chair, rocking, and I was like, oh, gone. I don't know what Peter gave me, but it was good. Because I saw God that day.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice to know.
It was
About Peter, that's nice.
Yeah. In fact, I was at Celebrity Sweepstakes with Vic, and we were going to visit Peter. He's doing a show with Tina Sinatra was on the show, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford. It was like the Rat Pack on the Celebrity Sweepstakes. So we go back there, and Peter takes off his shirt. I'm like, oh my God, it was just, I knew he wasn't long for life at that time.
Because of his mental state or his physical
Well,
state?
he was very thin, very
Okay.
niche.
Yeah.
And my dad and Vic got into it because my dad tried to save him.
Oh.
As usual, the old man would, you got to take care of yourself. And same thing he said to Lenny Bruce. Lenny Bruce was always doing junk. And Vic would say, hey, you got to stop. Another story of Lenny. Lenny had this big goat bag. And Vic goes, I want that bag. It's beautiful. And Lenny goes, listen, when I die, it's yours. So anyway, it winds up that Lenny dies. And Sally Marr, Lenny's mother, comes up to my dad and goes, here, Lenny wanted you to have this. And it was the bag.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable story. And then another thing was my dad opened up a club in '68. We had Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Wes Montgomery, Cannonball Adderley. They all played in Arizona at my dad's club. It was a Leo.
Gee, too bad he didn't have too many stars.
No, I know.
Yeah, really.
So one day he's in his office. He's in his office and he's just got a call from Wes's brother, Wes Montgomery's brother, saying Wes just died in Indiana. And the last place club that he played at was my dad's club in Arizona. So my dad's really just thinking about how Wes just played here, man. And he's looking at the stage and there's a guitar with no strings on it, Spanish guitar. My dad looks at it and says, with love, Wes Montgomery, signed. And it was like an epiphany,
Yeah.
So many cats that are gone, we talked about. Wes was one of them. He's a great guitar player.
You're lucky that you had a dad like that in that time frame to hear about all these guys and all these people.
Well, he wrote a book. He's got all these stories in this book. I just gave it to Tony. That's where we met for lunch, Tony Vitale, because Tony knew my dad.
Mm-hmm.
But the stories, we would stay up all night long, Vic and I. And I was a kid, but I listened to all of his beautiful stories. And I kind of knew them all. I mean, after everything that all these years, I still remember them.
But that gave you experience for you listening to this stuff and listening to this stuff.
Yeah.
That's experience. Sometimes I listen to these young singers or even old singers that just are singing and they just don't have the experience. It's not like you're so great, but you have experience.
Well, the only experience that anybody could ever have, and what really helps your music, is a broken heart. If you haven't had a broken heart, I don't know how you're singing,
Yeah, but there's more to it than just singing. There's the gigs and there's the this and there's the that. And
but I'm talking about feeling. the
Yeah, that's
feeling of
true.
singing.
That's true. That's true. But if you take it all and put it in one, you've been performing in different ways your whole life. And you know how to set up a gig and you know how to call songs. And if you're live and they don't think maybe you ought to switch a song around because of the audience. I mean, that's all experience,
Right.
you know, and how to count
Well, that's
count
fun.
off and, you know, all this stuff, how you want it, lead your band, you know, and that's nothing but experience. And between your dad listening and being around it, and I'm sure there were some bad experiences too.
I can't think of any. I used to love going to see him. Like he was in the Playboy Club downtown LA. And I sit in the audience while they're rehearsing. And in the audience is having a cup of coffee, Peter Falk, Richard Fry. There would be all these cats out in the Playboy Club in and out, or the Mansion, or wherever, you know. Anytime he played, it was exciting for me. I worked at the Playboy Club in Chicago. I was about, I don't know, 19. I worked with Michael Callan. I was his musical or stage director. I was the stage director. I
Okay.
did the lights up in the
Okay.
room behind. I did the lights in the kitchen. I had to climb the stairs, and I did the spotlight. And then I used to get him like coffee, go get him this, get him that. So one day after the show, I'm sitting at the table with Pat Paulson, Helena Hamilton, George Hamilton, my dad, Michael. And George asked me, "Could you walk Helena to her room? She wants to get something out of the room." I says, "What are you kidding?" I said, "I would be glad to." I walk her up to the room. She gives me a kiss. "Thank you." And I was like, forget about it.
Was it on your face? Did you cut
Yes.
out your skin and put it up on the wall?
Yeah. I mean, she was gorgeous from then. Unbelievable.
He's a riot, George.
Who? George
Hamilton.
Hamilton? Yes.
He's I mean, I know he did drama and stuff, but he's really funny. He does
There's
really
not
good
too many
comedy.
cats that are still alive, like George, Michael. Michael Callan's still alive. George is still alive. And, you know, at that time, back in the day, there was Bobby Darin, Sandra Dee, Michael Callan. They were all big shots, you know, big actors.
And singers.
Oh,
And
yeah.
because they were doing all that rock and roll and ended up making movies, you know.
Right.
Good for them. The one that I met was Bobby Rydell. And we had dinner with him at Luciano's on Rush Street. I was with Frank Derone, and he knew Bobby. So we had dinner. And he was really a good singer. But they remember him for all the frou-frou, you know,
Right.
in those movies. And he was doing shows and singing what I would say our songs at that time, you know.
Bobby Rydell was just at the Arcada Theater.
Really?
Ron Onesti's place, yeah.
He had problems. He had kidney and something else. Kidney transplant and something else. But because I just read about it, I was thinking about him and read about him the other night. But he was a damn good singer, but he never got the accolades that some of the other ones did.
My brother was a big fan of him and Frankie Avalon, but it was more Bobby Rydell. I always loved him. I thought he was a great singer.
On Masks, no, on it's not Celebrity Dancing with the Stars. They were doing something, and Frankie Avalon came and sang this song. I forget what song it was, but it was popular then, a Disney song of some sort. And he actually sang it live while they were dancing. This is just the other night. If you got on demand, go watch it, because he really aged, but he still looks the same. You know what I mean? And he sounds great because it was live. They have a band and everything. He sounded fabulous. He really did. And he had on his little sweater, you know, that he used to wear in the beach movies, you know. But it was kind of interesting.
I just heard they were doing Grease.
Oh, that was it, Grease. That was it, Grease. And he came and sang whatever song he sang live. That, because I never watched Grease. I didn't particularly like it, but So it was kind of interesting. And that's why I looked up Bobby Rydell was the other night because I remember him. But he was at Arcadia, huh?
Yeah, he was just there recently.
Really?
I used to play there all the time at the Arcada. Ron, I know Ron for a while, but I don't know. This year he just didn't use me at all. I don't know. But I couldn't do that much anyway. I did the Sinatra tribute for his birthday.
Oh, that's good.
December. I had to sit in a stool. I was the only jamoke in a stool.
Okay,
'Cause
so
they-
now you're doing all right. I listened to your older stuff, which is basically rock and roll, pretty much.
Right.
With your with the
Classic.
groups.
Classic rock.
Yeah, and people dancing. Okay, I mean, it's fine. I'm saying it's great.
Right.
But lately you've been doing tracks and singing ballads that you've been putting up on YouTube. And I'll tell you what,
I've always been doing that for like, oh God, I would say years and years, but I never really did it a lot. Now I'm doing it where it's a lot more. I mean, I did rock and roll and I always did ballads and I always loved the old genre of standards because of it.
right.
Because of it.
Well, you sound really good. I mean, I listened to
Thanks.
them. I did. And you don't have to push like you do with the band, when you're live and you got to sing and and you just sang and you sounded really good. People go to his YouTube, Bob Cesario, right?
Right.
And listen to some of these things he's put up because it really is good. You sound really good and it's nice. You're not pushing and trying to, I understand live, so I know exactly,
Right.
what I'm talking
rock
about.
and roll is rhythm and blues and classic rock. You're screaming,
Yes,
especially when you're playing with cats that are
Right.
playing,
right.
because they want to hear themselves
That's right.
and they want to hear. Primarily, they want to hear themselves. They
That's
don't
right.
give a shit what you're doing. And I'm playing behind a set of drums and singing. And the guitar player wants to hear himself, and the piano player wants to hear himself. And it's like,
It's like, I can hear
it's
you.
a
That's
battle.
enough.
It's a battle. But that's why I love tracks. You're not you got a volume control, and I'm the star.
Gee, that's true. That's true. I had one piano bar gig years ago. Did you know Sonny King?
Yeah, you were mentioning it. Yep.
Yeah.
I've
And
heard of him. I didn't know him.
he got me this gig at the Raphael. And I worked with a piano player. It's the only time I've ever done that. And like I was telling you the other day, my chops got good because it was just me singing with the piano. And that's all you had. I had nothing
Right.
behind me saying, take a chorus,
Well, if you gotta have a good piano player to cover. 'Cause
Yeah,
you gotta
well, it
be
was
able to
all
play
right. It was all
bass line.
right. But
A
my
good
chops
piano player.
went.
Yeah.
He was good. I mean, I knew him a long time before that when he was younger, but he ended up being like a little nasty. I mean, I was the singer and I went, well, I don't want to do that. Let's do this. It's like, really? Okay, fine. Whatever.
Good piano player. Danny Long. Danny Long is a great piano player.
I know.
And my dad was good, but yet he always loved Danny's playing. He always
Because
used
he played full, probably. Yeah. Especially if you're working with just a piano.
See, my
You
dad
have
would
to play full.
vibes. He was a vibe player. Everybody knew him as a vibe player. He was great on vibes.
Really? Maybe
Yeah.
well, you can't switch to that because then you got to schlep them to the. Schlep everything to the gig.
Yeah, he used to. Yeah, he had the vibes. When he died, those were gone. My sister went over there and forget about it.
Oh, that's too bad.
I wanted to go see him before he died. Next thing I know, he's dead. And he was cremated. I saw him in the cardboard box. What a shame. But it doesn't matter what you do in life, because eventually everything you do, everything you've got, it's gone. Who gives a shit?
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
Yeah, I've seen it with all of his work and all of the stuff that he did. I seen his life. I mean, in boxes, and my sister threw it away and threw it all away. You know, I got a few things, and that was it. I don't really need anything.
No, because you have your memories
Yeah,
and you lived your memories for a long time with him.
I grew
That's
up
right.
with him.
That's
with my
right.
life,
That's right. And
even
I
though
know
he's my brother, father.
you've been sick for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah. And you really look good
Thank you.
for an old guy.
Yeah, thank
No, you do. Because I know you've been through the mill with what you had. You had a
yeah,
liver
diseases
transplant.
right. I had the transplant liver. I had 5 bypass surgery, and that was great because then you feel like 20 years old again. But then what killed me is the West Nile virus that I got meningitis and encephalitis from.
And you got bit in the Chicago area?
Yeah, I was doing a gig at Lake Barrington.
On a
Uh,
lake. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
loaded with mosquitoes. And they got the gigs outside because they don't want people to get COVID. So I'm
Instead, you get West
outside.
Nile.
Instead, I got West Nile virus. Go figure.
I mean it.
Well,
That's
my
so
resistance
ridiculous.
was low. My resistance was low, probably from the liver transplant.
Yeah, probably. But
And so the mosquito said, "Nah, here we go."
I mean, that's terrible. They
Yeah.
want to get COVID, and everybody's going, bzzz.
Yeah, that's all it takes is one freaking mosquito. I think there's like there was when I got bit. I think I was number 20 in Illinois,
Really?
and that was in August. This is the time that they come out, the sick mosquitoes.
Yeah. You know, where I live now, they spray, and they spray so much that the bees are dying here. I had one
Uh,
die on my car. It's like, we really need the bees, you know, and there is
yeah,
organic shit you can use. It does. It's not good for the water table. It's not good for that stuff. And, you know, because there's really hardly any mosquitoes around here. And I'm in Florida. You know, usually
right.
at 6 o'clock, you got to go in or, you know, get in a plastic bag or something. But they spray so much here that nothing lives, I think, pretty much.
So anyway, I'm tearing down the drums, tearing down the lights, and in the meantime, Linda's walking behind me with the spray stuff, which doesn't help because I'm right next to a freaking river. You know, the Lake Barrington, right next to the freaking lake, and mosquitoes are all over. And I got bit in a year. Well, I'm still. This has been over a year now, and I'm starting to get my equilibrium back. I'm starting to. I can walk better. Before I couldn't walk at all. I didn't know if I was going to walk again.
From that? From that?
Yeah, from that.
Because of the
People have died.
encephalitis?
No, it's all that shit. All that it's like the encephalitis, the meningitis, the
There.
virus. People have died.
I
I
know.
know. I've talked to so many people who had relatives that got it, and they died. My best friend, his mother died from it. So I fought like hell. I mean, I was fighting tooth and nail, and the pain, whoo, the pain. I was screaming at Linda, "Get me out of this freaking hospital," because they wouldn't let me move. Yeah,
And you
but
didn't and you didn't
I-
like the food.
the food, terrible. You'd think they'd cook better for you.
Don't you though?
You'd think, arm and a leg, you're paying for the food. And they give you here's your menu. It all sucks. No matter what, the orange juice sucks. Everything
Sure.
sucks.
You should have ordered out.
Yeah. So did we talk about the Doberman gang, or did you get that? Because that was important in my life.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know when. Talk about it again.
All right. Well, the
Go ahead.
Doberman gang. We were Now, Vic had a beautiful house in the hills in California. Beautiful. He had a 1954 Jaguar XK120. And he had a beautiful house in the hills. And that's when he had Mercedes singing, Mercedes Hall singing.
Mm.
And JoJo is the one who was in the movie with Simi Bo, who was also in Beetlejuice. He was in Rocky. Simi Bo played little parts. But JoJo is the one in Doberman Gang with the big mustache and the beard, the curly hair. And he's the one who kind of told me that Vic was my dad. And I would go see JoJo and he go, well, your dad told me. Now he had that New York greaseball accent, which was cuter to know. If you saw the movie, you wouldn't know.
I saw it, but I don't remember a thing.
Yeah. And so he's, yeah, your dad told me. I said, my dad, no, my brother. No, your dad. Anyway, it winds up that night, Vic and I were playing chess. And he taught me how to play chess. I didn't know chess. So at one point, I got his queen in check. I didn't say on guard. Because when you get your queen in check, you're supposed to, the proper etiquette is on guard. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So I didn't say on guard. So I took his queen. Oh my God. It was the end of the world. He took his cup and he threw it across the room. And he goes, you ever wonder who your father is? I said, well, I'm thinking my father's in River Forest. You know, well, I'm your father. That's how he told me.
Lovely.
It's a great story.
Because you didn't say on guard, motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
Well, at least you found out.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have known, but it's something that if you didn't know, probably wouldn't have made a difference. But if you found out, it just adds.
Once I found out about it, it didn't make any difference.
No,
Because
because
I
you
knew who your parents are the people who wiped your ass and
That's
and
right.
cleaned your nose and everything.
That's right.
They gave you a quarter to go to. Those are your parents. So I always loved them more than anything in the world. And they were the most loving two people you'd ever want to meet. Two Italian, great with a heart of gold. My mother would give you just everything. Like guys would come over to the house. Here, have some cookies. I don't want no cookies, Mrs. Cesario. Put them in your pocket. Save them for later.
Did you
Why you
ever?
gonna put cookies in your pocket?
Did you ever see that Sal Mancuso, or however you pronounce his last name? He's a comic.
Oh,
He is, without a doubt, he's hysterical because his wife is Jewish and he's Italian. And it's such a different. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. And he's made it now. He lives in LA
Right.
now. Lower, as Milt would say, lower Alabama.
It's a big set.
But the stories are so funny.
Yeah.
Like
Like when people would come over and you're like, hey, before it was, come on. And we used to have companies here. And then we'd have the cake, what do they call it? Every Christmas, you get that fruit cake. And my mother would save the fruit cake for company. An atomic bomb could blow up and that fruit cake would still be good.
Yeah, really.
It was
I know what you mean. I know.
It was in a can.
Like Twinkies,
Yeah, it was better than Twinkies. They had nuts and fruit and all kinds of stuff in that little.
It's so funny. It's so
Those were
funny.
great times, man. River Forest at that time was a great place to grow up. And then go fast forward till I'm 65, no, 64. 64, I put the article I told you about. I discover I have two sisters and a brother. And my one sister lives on Belmont and like around Harlem.
Okay.
And I was living at the time on Dickens and Harlem.
Okay.
And we were that close to each other, and I never knew her because that was on my mother's side, who I never met.
Okay.
And it did just
How did
great
how
because
did
of
that how
Facebook.
did that happen though?
Facebook. I put
Oh,
the
oh,
article
oh,
on Facebook, and then she discovered that saw the picture of her mother, which is my
Mhm.
mother.
Mhm.
Said that's my mother. Next thing you know, we get in contact with each other.
That's so neat. It really is.
Mhm.
I mean, you're
But I
lucky.
found out she died at 61, diabetes, and my dad died at 69. So longevity doesn't work too well between the two of them. But my grandmother, lived till she was 94.
Well, you've gone through a lot and you're still here. So
Yeah, I don't know how much more I
longevity.
could go through. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you went through a lot and you're still singing.
Yeah, still rocking.
Well, let's see. This is Friday, October 22nd. You're going to be at Palm Court
Right.
in Arlington Heights.
That's a nice club. You don't have to worry about. I mean, a place is packed. The food is delicious. It's always pretty much packed.
And you're
So
doing a
I would
sing.
call for reservations. That's why I put the number.
Call for reservations, folks, and go see Bobby.
Yeah.
And you're working a single, right?
Exactly.
Okay. That's good. You only have to tip him, not the whole band.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could use the dough.
Yes, we all could. Okay. And then let's see, where is this? This one at the Broken Earth Winery.
Winery.
It's Sunday, right?
Long Grove,
24th.
beautiful place.
In Long Grove.
I don't know if we're going to be outside or inside, depending on the weather. But either way, I'll be there.
Hopefully it won't rain and you won't be outside. That's the thing.
If it's nice out, sometimes in the weather is like, that's what they call weather.
I see. One time we did, that building that has the glassed in pool on Randolph, the high rise. If you pass it, you see the glass on top. We had a gig there.
Oh yeah, in fact, I picked up my kid at that place.
The pool is up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a gig at the pool. Well, in order to get to the pool, we had to schlep all the shit up the elevator around somewhere to get in. And I said, we can't set up here. It's wet. They're all coming out of the pool. I said, we're going to get electrocuted. And we would have,
You know how many boats on Lake Michigan I played and it was raining? We'd have to get the plastic to put it over the
yes, because you will get electrocuted. You will.
Exactly.
So then we had to go upstairs into a balcony and schlep all the shit up there to get away from the water. We did it, but I remember that. I thought we cannot play here with all the stuff on the water there. No way. So that's the only thing about rain and electrics and electronics.
Yeah, when you're
Not
out
good.
on a boat, you can't go too far.
No,
I mean,
but again, you're right. You need stuff to
you're
cover
surrounded by
everything.
water.
That's right. That's right. Well, So Bobby C, my new friend, I have to do my little commercial here.
Oh yeah, your commercial,
My commercial
your handbag.
yes, my handbag commercial. I can't even remember the name of the place. They make these handbags and they make clocks and they make purses like this. And it's all collectible stuff. It's made out of the record covers and it's made with authentic playbills. And it's really interesting. And my friend Ray Ruggieri has it. And I'm going to actually, let me see what this is. Wait a minute. I'm going to actually do an interview with him pretty soon. I don't quite know when. And he's real interesting. And he sings and he plays piano. Known him forever. But these handbags are really wild. And if you like Broadway stuff or Judy Garland or rock stuff, get in touch with him because then you'll have a collectible in your hand at all times. So I keep looking at your TV over there with all the stuff.
Oh, yeah. Miss
It's been
Kitty
on.
Fly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Again, I was going to bring up some stuff on your YouTube, but there's too many things. They have to
That's
go.
why I let it go. I just play the hell out of it.
Yeah,
There's so
well,
many things.
he's
got
got.
to be 200 videos on there.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. But you should go and listen to his dad because he was really good to begin with. And then listen to him on the newer stuff. He's really good too. Not that he wasn't good with the rest of the stuff, but it's rock and roll. It's different. And with the ballads, it's like you're singing ballads, the standards.
Yeah. Yeah.
The standards.
I did that one, the Sinatra song that you liked,
Yeah,
which was written by Rod McEwen.
it was
which I
great.
love.
It's a great
Rod
song.
McEwen was a great poet.
Right.
Too good of a writer.
Right.
But it's like Shel Silverstein. I mean, how many songs he wrote? And like he wrote Boy Named Sue for Johnny Cash. He wrote Unicorns. There were green alligators, and I don't even know who did that. But he wrote a lot of stuff. And he was actually just for Playboy. He did the comics, the jokes. And he was great talent. I shot pool with Tony Curtis at the mansion.
What was he like?
Yeah. Tony was wonderful. He was a gas. Old Hollywood, baby.
I know. I remember
was
the
old
joke
Hollywood.
was when he was in, what was the medieval thing originally? I can't remember.
Yonder is my father the cat.
Yeah, my fodder.
The
I have to go
castle
talk to
was-
my fodder. Yeah. That was so funny.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big joke. I don't think he really ever said that though. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure. I don't remember, but that was the joke. I have to go
But
play
I
my
beat him.
fodder.
I beat
Yeah,
him in school.
The Brooklyn thing. And he was an artist too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. And I used to watch, they didn't have YouTube then. I don't know how I used to watch this, but he'd have things. Maybe it was interviews on TV and he'd be talking with his great wig hair,
Yeah, it was
And-
his wig.
Yeah, I know.
My dad had a toupee
Well,
and a wig.
I wear wigs. Just people
Well,
go, I love your hair.
used to
All
wear 'em,
right. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
wear them anymore.
Yeah, I
just
know.
like being comfortable. But
But
those they itched and they're freaking nuts. I forget about it. My vanity is gone. How many years ago? Maybe about 6 years ago.
Since I met you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, how long have you been with her? With Linda?
Her is Linda.
Linda.
What is it? 4 years now, maybe more.
4?
4 years of bliss.
How can you stand them?
Oy vey. How did I stand her?
That's a different animal
Yeah.
No.
Supposed to be in bed, lady.
than you. Yeah.
No, come in and say goodbye.
Oh, no.
She's
it's
got to go to
okay.
work tomorrow.
I work.
What do you do?
I work for Morgan Stanley. I
Morgan
run a couple
Stanley.
Offices.
Are you going to jail with them? No. wait.
No,
I'm
that's-
sorry.
Morgan Stanley going to jail?
No, not us.
No, I'm
No.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, I think we're going to wrap up. Do you have anything else to say, Mr. Bob?
No, thank you for the interview. It was exciting and
And
just
hopefully we can
wonderful.
meet her one day in Florida.
Yeah, maybe we'll be seeing you in Florida.
Yeah, well, one of these days I'm coming up home too, and I don't know quite when yet. It might be
Well, we'll
next
hook it
year.
up.
I'm trying to get together a little thing on one of our community houses here. And I have the passion to try and work again, a little bit. So
Let me know what this is going to be aired on or what.
Oh, I will. I'm gonna
I've already subscribed to
the
what is
last
it,
lady.
Crazy Dane.
I put it on YouTube and I put it on my Facebook page and then I put it on my own page. So
Okay.
it gets a lot of play,
Oh, really? It's on your Facebook page?
It's on my Facebook page, on
Yeah, I'm
my
good at Facebook.
interview, my Facebook interview page, and on YouTube. So it's on 3 places.
Cool.
And I might do part 1 and part 2. It's long.
Yeah, because
So-
I got a lot more to talk about. Don't forget, we didn't hit on the sheriff's department for 38
Oh,
years.
yeah.
Yeah, that's just, I was there when John Gacy was there.
Were you a crooked sheriff or not?
See,
Crooked. I never, listen, let me tell you something about law enforcement. If you're bad, if you're a bad cop, if you're a bad anything, you get discovered. If you don't do things right, you will be discovered. If you're brutal or if you're crooked, you'll be discovered. You won't be able to do 38 years in a department.
Is that how long you
unless
were
you're doing
there?
things right. What?
You were there 38 years?
I said that, yes, 38
Oh.
years.
That's a lot.
sheriff.
I was a singing sheriff. I used to sing with, when guys are like out of, I sing to them.
You know, that's good for the soul and it's good for the other people.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I'm not being funny now. Because Ronnie, my roommate, and I sing our way out of Walmart and the Dollar Tree. And it brightens them up. We sing the old songs. They have no clue what we're singing.
right. Well, that's what I did when I was taking them to jail. They loved it.
Yeah,
They'd sing along.
that's great.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let. I had them rocking in the squads. They were rocking in the squad car.
That's good. That's good. So, and you were in a squad car for 38 years or did you move
I
up?
was in the squad. I worked in the courts. I worked in the jail. I worked in the buses. I worked in squad cars. I worked in vans. I worked in everything. 38 years, you got to get around.
County jail?
I wanted to do as much as I could.
And you
Because the
did.
sheriff's department is huge. I mean, you can get lost in the sheriff's department, which is what I wanted to do, get lost, do 38 years, get my pension, and I'm done. You know, it's do your 8 and hit the gate is what we used to say.
Uh-huh.
Do your 8 hours, get out of it. You know, you don't take your job home. I never talked about my job. You know, it's like it was at times it was sick. It was crazy. Things you wouldn't even put in a book. You couldn't even talk. I mean, it's Cook County Jail.
That's what I just asked you about. You went to county, right?
Yeah,
At that time. I don't know what it is now. They're trying to redo it, but I know that was horrible. That's one of the worst jails in the country at the time.
it was. I would say the worst. jail. Not
Well,
one
I
of
was
them,
being
I would
nice.
say the worst.
I was being nice.
Because there was things that I saw that would curl your hair.
I know. I know.
Yeah, it's terrible, terrible. And man's inhumanity toward man has been going on for years, and no one's ever learned how to just get along and let man be man. Let everybody live their life. Everybody wants to get involved. Everyone wants to bother you. They're going to tell you what to do. You're going to tell me what to do. Blah blah blah. It's still going on.
I know. It's a shame. But I
Yeah,
think, wasn't there a guy, what do you call, a warden that wants to redo the whole system, like, and everyone's all upset. It's like, wouldn't you rather have people
Now?
come out? Yeah, like a couple
You're
years
talking
ago,
about now?
a couple years ago.
I don't
Maybe-
know. I don't. There is no wardens anymore. There was never a warden
Or whatever.
since
he is.
Winston.
Oh, it was somebody that was trying to do programs, you know, and
Yeah, they have.
things.
Well, what it is in Illinois, they've eliminated all the psychiatric stuff. So now the jail has become the psychiatric place.
Right.
You know, that's where they're putting all the cycles. Instead of trying to put them in, they eliminated all the ones in Illinois. You know, it's crazy. But it's wiser men than me, I guess, because nobody asked me what I thought.
Yeah, and you worked it. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe they should have. You know, really, I'm serious.
They don't. They think
I know.
arrogance is amazing. Arrogance. I have always was amazed by people's arrogance and how they think they're better than everybody else. You know, it's sickening.
Yes, it is.
But I just go along.
No, they should have asked you because you worked it. But, you know, what are you
I
going to
never
do?
asked the people that really work there. Or the
Right.
people that, you know, that have put in 8 hours, actually put in hands-on, 8 hours, boots on the ground. Nobody asked them because of the arrogance that oh yeah, well, I know more than everybody. The hell out of here.
And that's why, I mean, they still, I'm not even gonna go into it. Because I try and watch, not watch it, but read about GN a lot. You know, that was our station. And they took the news off nationally now, like the noon news, which would be one here. They took it off, whoever owns that station now. And I used to watch it every day from
Mhm.
here, you know, so I knew what was going on. But
Oh, look at the schools. How the children are indoctrinated into this whole. There's no history, no math, it's all bullshit.
well,
All bullshit. I don't know what they're teaching anymore.
I don't either because it's been a long time since I've been in school. Really.
We're teaching Indigenous Day instead of Columbus Day.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Well, but thank you very much for having me.
I'm so glad you did this because I made a new friend and I really like my
Who
new
is he?
friend. Huh?
Who is-
It's
who's
your
your new
girlfriend. It's your girlfriend.
Linda.
Linda. Linda, you're my new girlfriend.
Yeah,
But
yeah, you
really,
guys would hang out together pretty good.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Real for sure.
Trouble.
But
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you did this. It's, you know, I'm just starting out. And I hope everybody likes it. And if they don't, fuck them, I don't care.
Joke them if they can't take a fuck.
That's right. That's right. Because I learned a lot. I think I told you on the phone, I don't really know you. And because I don't, I learned a lot, see, about you without having to read Facebook. So there.
Well, believe me, there's a lot more that you haven't even touched.
Well,
on.
we could do part 2 or part 4 or part 6 someday,
Exactly.
you know, and I get you back in that jacket that you'll
This
never
time you
fit
gotta
in
hit the
again.
record button.
No, I know. That was terrible. I had it hit. I had it paused and it unpaused
I
itself. I
should
don't
have
know what
recorded
happened.
it. That's why I know what I talked about.
Oh, come here, dog. Get over here. Come here and say goodbye. Well, come here.
Puppy. Oh, let me see.
Sleeping there
Wait, hold
today.
on a minute. Hold on.
Go
I
ahead.
know everybody is, okay, hold on. Come here.
Hi, sweetie. Oh, look how cute.
What kind of dog is it?
What is it, pomegranate?
This is Jazz.
What kind of dog is it?
She's a Shih Tzu.
It's a Shih Tzu.
Pomegranate, that's
Is
a-
it a pomegranate?
Pomegranate. Talking about a Pomeranian.
Pomeranian. Come here, look
What?
at mine. Come here,
What?
come here. Come here, baby. Come on. Here's mine. Come here. Say hello. Say hello. Come here.
Right.
I can't pick up mine. Here, I'll take it.
No, I know. She's big.
Look,
She's
say
big.
hello. Say
She's
hello.
new. You
She's
got
a-
off, they kicked you off Facebook, huh?
She's a Labrador. Yeah, but I'm back. Oh, my drumsticks though. You can see me.
Whoops. Pick up them drumsticks.
I was using it to hold up the thing at. Yeah, you see this is my music room.
Oh, cool. Can you record?
Yeah, I do everything here.
Really? I'll talk to you
There's,
later.
there's
Show all
the
your pictures.
Nixon's the one there. The gold record.
The gold
Yeah, there's all
record.
kinds of stuff.
That's cool. Is it like in your basement?
Oh, this is a family room. We have like how many
Oh,
levels?
cool.
Three?
We have 3 levels.
3 levels. One,
Cool.
no, 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 levels, that's right.
4
Yeah,
levels.
there's
She
4
doesn't
levels.
even know how many levels. We got the basement. This is the family room. Then there's the living room. Then there's the bedrooms upstairs.
Well, that's cool that you have your stuff there because we're in a 2-bedroom townhouse thing here.
I
you
have a
know.
lot of stuff.
Yeah, I
I
see
had
that.
to build. I had
I
to
see
build a
that.
barn in the backyard.
You know, I called Joey Valentino about something
For his
And
20 arms.
and he said, I wanted him to try and put something down on a track for me. He says, all my drums are in boxes downstairs. I have 5 sets of drums. I'm going,
Uh-huh.
really? Okay. But nothing in the
Uh,
apartment because it's small, you know.
The sound equipment that I have I mean, I've got so many soundboards and so many this,
And
and now I'm down to just either the Bose or an EV. The EV is killer. You know, you ever see EV this single? It's real nice. They got the
What are you-
basement.
What are you talking about? What, your speakers or,
Yeah, it's the EV sound system.
okay, is it powered or not? Or do you
Yes.
use an amp with them?
No,
powered
it's
amp.
powered. It's all powered.
They're all powered now.
But yeah, it's unbelievable.
Well, that's cool. You know, they've come with so many new things like on these mixing boards and stuff. And I didn't know anything about them because I had an old PV head that ran my Bose, you know,
Mhm.
and I had to call them up and say, what does this mean? I don't
Right.
even know. I said, I know I'm old, but I really knew how to do it years ago, but I haven't done it for a
Yeah,
while.
it's 6-channel PVs.
Yeah.
The
know,
towers. Yeah, the towers. Old freaking Murph and the Magic Tones equipment.
I had an 8-channel and it was fine for what I did. It had reverb and it had highs and lows and it had a
Right.
little EQ and I could let people plug in their mics and, you know, all that stuff. And it was fine. And I got 2 sets of Bose, 802s and 702s. So I'd hook them up and, you know, that was it. Now it's so different. But this old lady learned. Now I
Yeah.
know what FX sound, what that means. That means reverb or
Right.
chorus or whatever.
Well,
you
that's
know.
that's how you learn.
I know, because I use it with the computer here and there. So I kind of want to sell my Bose and possibly get the new one, the big tower, you know.
Yeah, well, I have that one. I have a smaller version. It's really nowadays you don't need all the big freaking amps and all that crap that we used to carry. You know, when I was playing with the 7-piece network, oh my God, the basement, and we'd have to put them in the bass player's house, and it was in a crawl space, and you had to bend your head. You had to bow down as you're bringing these big amps and these big speakers into the house. Well, when you're half drunk in the bag, guess what? You're banging your head on the doorway or on the pipes. It was a nightmare.
I know. One time I had enough money with a small club thing we were working where I could hire a roadie. So I hired this kid I
Roadie.
knew. I hired a kid I knew. And he put up everything and he even put up the drums and then Tone would, you know, fix them and do, but he set them up and put them up. That was kind of nice. You know, I didn't have to schlep.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was funny. It was
yeah.
funny because it was a friend of mine and I paid him what, I forget what, something. And he came to the gig and then he undid everything and we could talk to the people, you know, and get the hell out of there without lifting and doing
Yeah.
and schlepping. So it was funny. All right,
So
you
you said you
guys.
played all hours? You played all
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used to work at the Holiday Inn in Highland Park. And that was, and Algar was in there at that time
Right.
in 1962, 1963.
Uh-huh.
And then he moved to Milwaukee, the old man.
Right.
And I didn't work there, but I would do gigs there with Jerry Ross. I don't know if you know who he was. He played trumpet and he had an agency in out west. And his big claim to fame is he played with Elvis once somewhere. So he would hire us and we played Algowers, you know, in a big banquet room, like a few times, you know.
Elgowers, that's where we live, near the Elgowers.
Yeah, well,
on
we live
Milwaukee.
near Algo.
Oh, really? I know where that. Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah.
right,
Off
we
of
live
Waukegan
there.
Road
I
there.
think she knows where Arlington
I lived
is.
out there. I know. I'm
Yeah.
from. I lived
Yeah.
in Highland Park, lived in Deerfield, and
Mhm.
moved into the city in like 1982 or something. After that, but I graduated Highland Park High School, so I know the area like very well.
Great.
And yeah, and then there was the
All right.
Sybaris. There was the Sybaris.
The Sybaris, I've never been there.
Yeah, well, it's probably not even there anymore.
No, I was
No,
at,
it's still there.
I used to go
Is
to
it?
the mansion. I used to go to the mansion at the Grotto. That's another story. I'd be in the grotto with Sydney, and you're naked in there. You can't wear clothes.
Oh, God.
Would you do that now?
Would I do that now? Depends on who I'm with. No, I don't think so. But back
Couldn't get
then,
me to do
yeah.
it for $1 million. I'll tell you
So
that.
I'm in the grotto with Sydney Lawford, and in comes Vic. Now, I'm in there. Vic starts playing with, oh, did you see this? This is the lighting. This is your rainforest thing. He's playing with all these things. I'm Vic. I'm a little busy right now to worry about that. So you can imagine what I was going through.
Oh,
It was a little embarrassing.
poor thing.
Your dad was.
Poor thing. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All righty. I'm going to stop recording. We've been
Good.
recording this whole time.
Thank God, because the last time I don't think you recorded.
Ah. Okay, so everybody go to his website and go to his YouTube, Bobby C or Bob C. You'll find it. And this will be,
Yeah.
I'll put this up and it'll be on. I'll let you know when. And thank you so very, very much. I appreciate it. Coming to my room here.
No, we gotta hang out. We'll talk.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Love
Don't
you.
forget
Take it easy.
I love you too. Don't forget Rediscovered Handbags. Bye.